One of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Keira Knightley.
No matter where I go, I will return to my English rose. But nothing can ever take me from she, my English rose.
That's a lovely song. Thank you, fellas.
Thanks.
Keira, how lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You look spectacular, as I would have expected.
Thank you, so do you.
Thank you. Now, I love seeing your movies. I think you're like a proper movie star, okay? In that you can act, but you've got this kind of this look about you, which is not like normal people. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Not really.
No, because you're.
That good?
Yes, it's a good thing. You've got a great face for movies. You look. I mean, you're a beautiful woman, but you're kind of a weird-looking beautiful woman. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Yeah, because you've got like a movie star's face.
Thank you.
Because I suppose there's not much you can say back.
No, I mean, there's not really.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
do
you can act as well. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do, because you look like Johnny Depp, because you've got the beard.
Yes! Yes! You can go now. Thank you. Is it an exciting time for you? It must be, I would have thought, because I know when you first came out, some people were not sniffy about you, but they were kind of less receptive to you as an actress than they are now. Now it's like...
I think it's fair to say they were sniffy. I mean, you know, yes, but it's really nice because this film's being received really well, so that's good.
Yeah, but I didn't like, because the first film I saw you in Bennett Like Beckham, and I enjoyed the movie very much indeed, and I thought your performance and all the performances were very good.
Good, thank you.
I really enjoyed it, but were people...
Well, no, I think people said... I think wooden was the word that was used a lot, which is fair enough.
But do you think it was fair enough? Do you think it was a wooden performance?
I don't know. I've only seen it once. I don't know. I was 16. It could have been.
I don't think it was. I thought it was a good performance.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing
not wooden. I always think that I overdo things as opposed to underdo them, but
what,
maybe
you mean as a performer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have thought they would have said you were too big
rather than wooden.
Did it bother you getting reviews like that early on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, it is. It's very weird. And I seem to have a homing device for bad reviews. Doesn't matter where I am, I'll find them. I've never seen a good one, actually.
Well, that surprises me, because there have been many.
Well, that's good.
And there have been some very good glowing reviews on the new movie, and deservedly so, because your performance in it and the work you do with James McAvoy, he's terrific as well.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Great performances, the two of you together.
Thank you very much.
But do people ever bring you reviews that they think are good reviews, or they think you like and say, read this, and it turns out to be not that way?
Or they just go, God, have you seen this? And it'll be the worst sort of thing in the world, and just say that you're disgusting. It's always nice when people do that, isn't it?
Well, it never happens. I only get good reviews. You get followed around a lot, don't you? I know.
I do.
Does it bother you, though, that level of attention? I mean, is there anything you can do about that when you go out, or do you just accept it and understand it goes with the territory?
And I don't deal with it very well, no.
What do you do?
Cry a lot. I shouldn't admit that, should I?
Probably.
No, I find it very frightening. I do. And it is very difficult to get outside your front door with lots of men pointing cameras.
How often are people outside your front door? How often do you find that?
I mean, more or less somebody every day, but, you know, it's normally about 5 guys. Look, I'm shaking, actually, talking about it. It's really weird.
I understand it must be a horrible thing, because I'm a big, unattractive, hairy guy, and when I get out, and occasionally, not very often, someone will want to photograph me, and I find it really kind of intrusive and unpleasant, and I get quite cross.
I mean, yes, all of those things. Yeah. And I think, you know, it's particularly scary when you're in a car and they're following in cars, because they do, like they did this morning, they were jumping red lights. And if you're in a car that's sort of, you know, if it's a minicab driver, for example, and they don't really know, then they get really freaked out that they're being followed, so they speed up. So you're suddenly in this sort of high-speed chase, and the guy's not looking out the front, he's looking in the mirror because people are chasing him, and then you think, OK, it's one kid that needs to come out here. And
that's awful.
So from that, yeah, I mean, it's scary.
And I guess it's pretty much like that all over the world for you, because the Pirates movie being so big, everywhere. Yeah. You're famous everywhere, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Bhutan recently, and I wasn't famous there. They weren't interested at all, so, which is lovely.
Bhutan for your holidays from now on.
I'm going there all the time,
yeah. Before we talk more about Atonement, and I want to talk about that a bit more, let's talk about the Pirates movies, because they have just been huge, and I would have thought in advance of the first one coming out and being a hit, it wouldn't necessarily have been predicted to be that big.
No, people laughed at me. Whenever I said I was doing a movie based on a Disney theme park ride, my friends just laughed. Yeah, which was understandable, really. So no one thought it was going to be any good.
And pirate films weren't really in vogue, were they?
No, I don't think they'd worked for about 50 years.
Yeah, not for a while. I love a pirate movie. I love these pirate movies. How much of your life did you spend making those movies?
Well, the first one took about 5 months, and then the second 2 we were on for 2 years. So a long time. I haven't actually seen the third one yet.
You haven't watched it?
No, I was working when it came out, so I haven't actually seen it.
Well, they're great fun. I mean, you know,
good.
I've seen it with the whole family. It's hard to work out in the third one sometimes what's going on, I must admit. It's a bit
Right.
kind of, you know, not your scenes, but I didn't quite work out what was going on at times with Johnny Depp. I think he goes mad at one stage. But
Possibly.
he's so charming to watch on screen, you can't help but enjoy him.
Yeah.
And he must be, I would have thought, great fun to work
Yeah,
with.
he's amazing. I mean, it was amazing, and seeing him create that character, because certainly in the first one, no one thought that it would work. We were all sort of watching him going, okay, mate, you're right.
Because it's this kind of swaggering, weird...
Yeah, it's crazy. It's completely crazy, and it read in the script completely straight, so it was totally his creation, which was amazing. Yeah, and he's wicked, and I think a performer that can really take the bull by the horns and go for it is really impressive.
He's, and once again, when he's performing like that, do you stand and watch and enjoy him, or when you're in a scene like that, do you have to try not to relax into it like that?
He's very kind, and he doesn't do quite as much when he's off camera, because otherwise, I mean, it did get to the point when everybody was just pissing themselves laughing, because you can't not.
It's a very funny performance.
It's a very funny performance.
Was the swashbuckling fun to do?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And is there a lot of learning that goes on? You had to learn to sword fight and do that kind of thing?
Yeah, I did a lot of training for that. Didn't get any in the first one, and I was really pissed off, so they gave me lots in the second and the third.
Yeah, a lot more. I mean, you've got,
Yeah.
and your role is more interesting, and it's more kind of pivotal to the film in the later ones.
Again, I haven't seen the third, so I'm going to take your word for that, but yes.
Do you not like watching yourself on screen then?
No. No.
Why not?
It's weird.
I can understand why anyone would have a problem seeing themselves that big. It would be because suddenly you scrutinise yourself, and you would see things about yourself that we would notice that perhaps you don't like, and that would be...
Yeah, no, I just don't think it's very good most of the time. So I just sort of watch the wheels turn and think, oh, why did you do it like that?
And what, you're analysing your performance as well?
Yeah, totally. I can't watch it without analysing it. It's the same thing as hearing yourself on the phone. You know, you always go, oh, don't sound like that. It's exactly the same thing.
Do you have a posh phone voice you use occasionally when dealing with, say, credit card people, or
Yes.
if you were to phone Debenhams?
Yes, it sounds a little bit like the one in Atonement.
Okay, it's a kind of like that... More
Very, very clipped, yes.
I love the period that Atonement is setting. Obviously, it was a great change, and there was a war going on, which was, you know, not pleasant for anyone. But there's something so exciting and dramatic about that period, and also the way the country looked back then. Did you find yourself feeling nostalgic, even though you weren't alive then, but for that kind of...
I definitely wasn't alive. But yeah, I mean, it's an amazing period. I mean, I thought it was really interesting because we were trying to go back to this sort of 1930s, 1940s style of acting. So it is that very, very clipped voice, and it's sort of, it's the pinnacle of the stiff upper lip, which I really enjoyed.
And of course, the clothes and the style of that period are quite remarkable, and you look fabulous in the many gowns that they've sewn you into there.
Thank you very much.
Is that part of the appeal of making movies, being allowed to take on that role of someone else?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's it. That's kind of what it's about. It's about sort of changing, and that's what I love. And I love, like, the costumes from this, from a completely girly standpoint, you just go, it's glamorous, isn't it?
How often do you get to dress like that?
Yeah, all right, yeah. I'm trying the, swim hat vibe.
Now, like me, I know you've struggled with your weight over the years, and people
Yes,
are always
thank you.
accusing me of being anorexic. They always accuse me of things which I'm not.
So annoying when that
I'm just naturally slender. But that must drive you nuts, because it's all the time in the papers, people picking on you for your weight.
It is really difficult, and I don't think men get it as much as women. I mean, I think it is very hard.
Men
to
don't get
take.
it at all, really. Men don't.
No. I mean, and it
Well,
was
Simon gets it a lot.
from you. He gets.